Welcome back, everybody, to Warrior Woman Winning. As you know, last week we started with week 1 of raising awareness for those who are being affected by gender based violence. And I started off by speaking about my experience as a child as I witnessed abuse and how that impacted me. And this week I want to speak about the fact that we have to give up the silence. And I'm sure you're wondering what I mean by that. Many times when women and children are being abused, the most normal and natural thing that they do and other people do is to remain silent. And today I want to speak about breaking that silence and giving it up, because it's not worth staying silent about it. And there's been many stories across our country and even in the world of women being killed, being raped, and even with their children. And that is exactly why I believe that you shouldn't remain silent. If you know of someone that has told you about any form of abuse that they've experienced, be it with their boyfriends, their fiancés, or their husbands, I do encourage you to even encourage them to speak up about it and to report the case, because sometimes you think that it's for the best to remain silent. As an outsider, I think sometimes people feel like it's better not to get involved, it's best to stay silent for that person's sake, but actually it's not better to remain quiet about that, because that is exactly why it continues for so long, because those people get away with it because nobody's reporting it, nobody's saying anything, nobody's getting involved, no one's stepping in to stop it in any way, and that is why they continue to do what they're doing. And so I'm encouraging you today, if you know someone that has been abused or is being abused and doesn't want to speak about it, I'm encouraging that person even to speak up and to report it, because sometimes your life actually depends on it. And next week I want to share a victory story of gender-based violence, my family's victory story of gender-based violence, and it's mainly because we reported it and we put it to a stop and said that enough is enough, it can't go on longer, and that is why our family has a victory story. And I know that for many families that is not the case, and I'm not saying that it's anybody's fault or you should have reported it or anything like that, but I'm saying that if you are facing that right now, that the best thing that you can do is to get out of the situation. And I know also from experience, or not like experience myself, but being in a situation where we had to get out of abuse, it's not easy, because you don't always have anywhere to go to, people to go to, or support system. It's not that simple as just getting up and going. And also fear plays a big role in the fact that people choose not to report it or not to leave that relationship. But I'm encouraging you today to please speak about it and share it with someone, because it can change your life and it can change what you are experiencing. Because that fear that you are experiencing and the doubt and that feeling of feeling worthless and just not wanting to be around and all that depression is not what's meant for you. You don't have to live like that. So I'm encouraging you today, even for men, if you know that a friend of yours is not treating the women in their life as they should, I'm encouraging you to speak to them. And I know that sometimes speaking to someone is not always a solution, or it doesn't always bring forth a change, but sometimes just planting that seed of trying to change their mindset really can change the situation. And it's so important to know or to remember that abuse and what other people do to you is not your fault, and nothing that you do is a good enough reason for them to abuse you or mistreat you, whether it's physically, emotionally, or mentally, whichever way that they choose to do that. It's never your fault, and sometimes you feel like you did something, or you feel like, okay, it's because you did A, B, and C that you deserve this, but you don't. Nobody deserves to be mistreated, no matter what you do. Because if you look at like God's love for us, it doesn't matter what we do, He doesn't mistreat us. So that means that we don't have the right to mistreat others, no matter what they do. So for those women out there, I want to encourage you today and to remind you that you are worth more, and that nothing that you have done ever, even if you feel like it's the worst thing that you could have ever done, it's not your fault that you are that you're experiencing this. So I'm really encouraging you today and asking you to break the silence. So warriors, next week I'm going to share with you a victory story. So I hope that you will stay tuned.